Hey, welcome to Tabletop Skirmish Games. I'm Lee, and in this video we'll be unboxing Fallout Factions Nuka World, the starter set. And a big thanks to Modiphius for sending out a copy for me to review here on the channel. And in the video I'm going to get it unboxed. You'll see all the components up close, and so you'll see all the details, and hopefully that'll help you decide whether or not this is a game you'd like to add to the collection. I'll pop a link in the description down below that will take you to the Modiphius website where you can find out more. But let's get started, and on the back it tells us exactly what's included. We get a brief introduction to set the scene, and then you can see everything laid out. This is all the contents of the box laid out there. You're going to get two different factions to start with, the pack and the operators, so a good amount of miniatures. And as you can see here, you're going to get rule books, tokens, you're going to get tracker tokens, a tape measure, which is really cool, wait till you see that, and a battle map and poster as well. So this is a nice little starter set. It's not too overwhelming as far as tokens go, and you get some terrain in there to build as well, which is always nice. So let's get the wrapper off, and then we can have a close-up look at everything. I did a video a few months back for some other miniatures from the Fallout range, and those were the ones that matched the characters from the TV show. So if you're interested in seeing that, I'll link to it at the end of this one. But let's get the lid off and have a look. Here we go then. So we've got the starter set rulebook. Let's get everything unpacked before we look at it in detail. Nothing on the inside of the box there. So we'll put the book to one side. There we go. And it's a nice looking rulebook, this glossy cover. Then we get the battle mat, and it's going to have a poster on the other side. And this is like poster material, so this isn't going to be a board. And then you get a crew roster. I'm going to get a couple of those, but you can also go on their website and download that if you wanted to print it off. Tokens, 3 boards worth of terrain there to build. I'm going to build that in a separate video. Nice little plastic insert just to protect the book and the tokens from the sprues here. And altogether there's going to be 4 sprues, and that's going to give you all of your characters. A couple of bags of dice, and then we've got the tape measure. This is a really cool addition, and I don't think I've seen this in any other game that I've unboxed so far. You get the regular rulers and things, but not an actual tape measure. There were some bases, and then you got the plastic insert, so you can keep everything in there once it's unboxed, and even your miniatures, once they're built, if you wanted to, you could put them in the box there, and then just flat pack your terrain, and it should all go back in the box. But that's all the contents laid out now, so let's get started having a look at them individually, and we'll start with the little battle mat here. So let's open it up. And this is going to be the poster material. You can see from the reflections there that this is a glossy material. And once you lay that out flat, that's going to be fine to get started with. I always prefer a solid board rather than these kind of poster type mats. But if you're just starting out and you want to just get some games in, then this is going to be perfect just to begin with. It is a starter set after all, and they've tried to keep the price down as low as they can while including lots of good stuff in here. So I think this is quite normal to see these posters now in different skirmish games, and it's better than not having any battle mat at all. And then once you've got yourself maybe a rollout mat to use, you could pop this poster up on the wall. If you're interested in the size of this battle mat, it's 3 foot by 2 foot, so that's going to be 24 inches by 36 inches. Now on to these crew rosters, so we're going to get 2 different copies here, so this should be good for 2 players to get started, and you can put all the details on the back there as well and keep a record of your characters. Then we've got 2 packs of dice, we've got 4 of these blue colours, all like aqua, and then they're going to be D10s, and later on you'll see there's an icon on the number 1, you can see it there where I've rolled it. And then we've got some red D10s as well. So altogether you're going to get 8 of those. Nice little icon there, again on the number 1. And the 7 could be mistaken for a 1 from a distance or an angle, but up close you can tell it's a 7. And there's the icon that they're putting on the number 1 for the aqua dice. Next up, we've got the measuring tape. I love this idea. It's like a little key ring as well, so you could just keep it handy all the time, use it in lots of different games, or even just have it with you to just measure all sorts of stuff. But there we go. It's a little bit flexible, which is handy if you're measuring arcs of movement, perhaps. So that could actually be quite cool for different games, rather than having a rigid ruler or a stick. So that's great. You can see there, it's really bendy. I just think this is a really good idea, including a little tape measure like this with the branding on. It's just really good move. So there we go. That's the measuring tape. Then we've got our bases there, and these are going to be the same size for all the miniatures. And then we'll have a look underneath. You can see you've got the Modiphius brand there. Nicely done. I just checked the measurement, and these are 30mm. Right, now on to the miniatures. So you're going to get two different factions. You'll get the pack and the operators. I prefer the pack, that's more my kind of vibe, but definitely a good choice in there. And altogether, there's going to be 20 miniatures, so you're going to get 10 for each faction. All 4 sprues are different, and you can see here that these are created by Bethesda, and these were moulded in 2023, so Bethesda Softworks. And you can see a bit flexible, but the plastic itself is hard, so if you've had any other miniatures produced by Bethesda, then you'll certainly be familiar with this style. These are a 28mm scale. They look like they're realistically proportioned as well. Nice choice of weapons. You can see there's all sorts going on there. You've got assault rifles, some with bayonets on there. You've got some machetes, bats, it looks like baseball bats. You've got the little Molotov cocktails there, grenades, lots of packs, different kinds of rifles, shotguns, pistols, all sorts. So you've got lots of choice here when you put them together. And there's going to be parts on here you should recognise if you're a fan of the video game and the series as well, then you're probably going to recognise a lot of this. But I like seeing all the details and the different packs and everything they've put in there. But good to have lots of weapon options. That's the main thing. And you can see all the different heads as well. These are going to be for the pack. So they've got all different antlers and beaks and all sorts of things going on. And here's the second sprue for the pack. Lots more weapons now, getting a bit more ambitious with missile launchers, rocket launchers, looks like a flamethrower, a sledgehammer, loads of heads to choose from as well. So that's really good. And it looks like there's lots of the same weapons that they can be armed with. So you can have multiples of the same kind of fighter if you want to. So it looks like you're going to have lots of different directions to go in. Oh, that's a cool baseball bat with the barbed wire wrapped around it. Really like that. All sorts of clubs too. Yeah, very nice. These look really well done. And then we've got the operators. They're going to get 2 sprues as well. So they've got a nice selection of weapons, slightly different. Some of them look similar. I'm seeing some more sniper rifles here, though, which might give you an indication of the tactics and how they're going to play out. But we've still got that missile launcher, pistols, packs, lots of different heads to choose from as well. And all different additions and little bits and pieces that we can put on the miniatures to customize them. Here's the 4th and final sprue. This will be the second sprue for the operators. And again, some nice things in there. Some wrenches, didn't notice those before. On the others, another sniper rifle. So that's 3 I've seen so far. Loads of heads, loads of pouches and packs. So yeah, I think this is going to be great fun to put together. Let's get close in so you can have a look at the detail on the faces there as well. And the hair's pretty good. Very nice. And there's all different factions you can choose from, which you can see on the Modiphius website. That link's going to be down in the description. But there we go, that's the sprues. So now let's move on and have a look at the different cards. So we've got some terrain cards and some tokens. You're going to get 3 terrain cards and 1 token card. I want to see how this terrain goes together. There's no instructions in the book or anything, but it's pretty straightforward, and you can see from the images exactly how it's going to go together, and everything for each building is on 1 card with a few extra pieces of scatter terrain and walkways and things. So it's going to be pretty obvious how they go together, but I thought I will do that video separately so that you can watch it if you're interested in seeing what it looks like built. And then I'll build some of the miniatures too and then pop them on there to give you an idea of the scale and just how it looks when it's all set up on the table. But I'll do that in another video. Loving all the details though, and the printing's great. The cards also really thick, and the same for the tokens. These little bottles here, they're going to be used for the round counters, I believe. But these are really nice, all playing in with the theme as well. So it's taken from the IP, which is great. And yeah, I think they've just done a really nice job. Nice and crisp and good, thick, quality card. So I'm liking that. These are going to be easy to pick up off the table. Sometimes if the tokens are too thin, they're really fiddly to pick up. So having a nice chunky token down, I think is going to work well. There we go. Now on to the starter set rulebook. And this is going to give you all the rules, obviously, you need to play the game, and some scenarios too. And nice glossy cover. Feels really nice, real smooth, and looking good, replicating the artwork from the front of the box. And then as we open it up, we'll have a look at the contents first. Quite a lot going on here. And you'll notice the Fallout icons and artwork throughout the book, so that's done really nice. So I really like the whole theme of it. I think it's been done really well. There's going to be 73 pages all together, all clearly broken down into different sections. Lots of artwork as we get started. We got the game components there, so you can see everything that's included. Some park rules, and then going through the terrain in detail, so just explaining exactly which piece of terrain does what. Then it goes through your crew roster, and then we're into the rules. So we've got some nice examples for the roll-offs. Great look at the terrain and how you move around it with your miniatures. And so liking all the little diagrams and the different tables. And then as we move on, the tables start to come thick and fast now, but it's all kind of blocked off in the different colours. I love this. This reminds me of the kind of theme park map you would get when you went to places like Alton Towers in the UK as a kid. They'd give you a map to take round. So that's really fun. And then we've got some information on the different scenarios, telling a story, so we're going to be focusing on the story phase. That's nice. So it looks like narrative's going to play a huge part. And then we're on to page 43, and this is going to give us our scenarios, and the scenarios can be one page, so nice and simple with the layout and everything we need to do, and some of them are 2 pages or 1.5, taken up with some nice imagery. Again, a mix of photography and artwork, which is always good. I'm going through this pretty quick just to give you an idea, but there we go. There's 6 scenarios. Then you've got an appendix with your faction lists. So this gives you all the stats for your different operators, the different weapons they can use. And I particularly like Appendix 3, Weapons of the Wasteland. And it looks good. It looks like they've taken an image of the weapon from the sprue, which I think is a nice touch. And then you can see exactly what those weapons can do. Then we've got a reference for critical effects, perks, all that kind of thing. And then we've got the crew roster there as well, an extended version if you want to take a copy of that. But again, on the website, you can get a PDF to download and easily print off. So there we go. That's a quick overview of the book. And that's now covered everything that's included in the Fallout Faction starter set, Battle for Nuka World, and another great starter set. It's been really fun catching up with the unboxings lately, and this is a great one, I think, to add to the collection. Something a little bit different, some really nice tokens. The miniatures look great. It's always cool to have 20 miniatures in the starter set as well. And I really like that measuring tape. I think that's such a good touch, adding that in there. That's going to come in really handy. Good to get some terrain too, so you can be up and playing, even if this is perhaps the first tabletop skirmish game you've ever bought. A good entry, I think, and a good way to get playing. Not too many tokens to worry about, so I don't think it's going to be all that overwhelming to get started with. But let me know what you think about this in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and I hope you found this video helpful. Thanks again to Modiphius. There's a link down below if you want to find out more about the game, the prices, and some of the expansions and other factions you can add to it as well. Don't forget to check out my website for all our games, Rogue Warriors, Rune Warriors, Population Z, and Weekend Warriors. But for now, thanks again for watching. If you did like the video, it'd be great if you hit the like button, subscribe for more videos like this one, and I look forward to seeing you here next time on Tabletop Skirmish Games. I can't go without saying a big thanks for all your support here on the channel, and especially to my Patreon supporters for helping me keep going with these videos. There's some links down below that'll take you to Patreon and let you know more about the perks and all the different levels if you're interested in finding out more.